Alright, so welcome back. After finishing the Naga Monk, I kind of wanted to do an Octopode Transmuter. Now, Octopodes are somewhat tricky in that they can't wear any armor, but they get to wear 8 rings to make up for it. This, however, means that they have 1 AC for a long time. You can wear a hat which has 0 base AC, but you can enchant that to +2, so you might have 3 AC. And hopefully you get lucky enough to find a ring, in which case, a ring of protection, in which case you get that AC. But for a very long time you will have very little armor. Once we do get to Ice Form, which is what I want to use, Ice Form does give you some AC, but it's on the order of, I think it's like 5 or so when you can first cast it, and then as your spell power goes up, you might get like 8 AC or something like that. I think that tops out at like 12. In any case, it's some AC, and it's definitely a lot better than having 1, but it's not very high. In order to get high AC, you're going to have to go up to statue form, which will give you real defenses, around 30 or so AC when combined with statue stone skin. If I can find Octopode's armor, which I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Octopode's something armor, then that will of course make Ice Form have much higher AC. But I've already done a couple of these transmuters. I got like 1 down to layer and stuff and then died. And I never found the spell. So you can't use the spell unless you find the spell. Same thing is obviously true about stone skin, but for some reason I seem to find that one more often. I think it's a little more common, maybe it's not. We'll find out. Like I said, I have already killed off a bunch of these. Octopodes have -10 to 10% to hit points. They're a low hit point race, and they also have the 1 AC, so they do tend to die a lot more. So I'm gonna probably be recording a bunch of deaths here, although I managed to escape that death with 2 hit points. So I am expecting to demonstrate splatting. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. You can learn a lot from dying. Transmuters are also much more difficult than monks because you're splitting your experience between a lot of different things. So right now, similar to the monk, I'm putting all my experience into unarmed combat. And having constriction from level 1 does make my offense fairly good. So right there, I grabbed the kobold and squeezed him. I didn't actually punch him. I did no punch damage. That was entirely constriction that killed him. I mean, that was the only hit. So constriction is what actually killed him there, not my unarmed. What I really should be doing, and should have done before, but bad fight with an adder. Come on, yes. Okay, what I should have done from level 2 is memorize sticks to snakes, which is the reason why transmuters start with arrows in their inventory, because you can create snakes, which when you're a weaker race like Octopode is extremely beneficial. If I was like a Naga or a Troll or a Minotaur transmuter, I probably wouldn't even bother learning it because you just don't need it. But if you are an Octopode and something dangerous comes around, you want as many snakes as you can manage. And you will start with 2 transmutations, so that's enough to cast. I didn't actually I thought I memorized. There we go. It must have been poisoned or something. You start with enough to cast it at a pretty good failure rate. What I should also probably be doing is using my Beastly Appendage more often. So there's Beastly Appendage. Since you don't have a normal body as an Octopode, Beastly Appendage always gives you a tentacle spike. You do not get, horns on your head or claws or anything like that. So you will always get a tentacle spike, which is, I believe, functionally identical to Claws 1, aka very powerful and something you should use a lot. especially when adders are trying to kill you. Alright. Adders are still dangerous at this point, even though I'm already level 4. So I got the Amulet of Regeneration, that's good. Really love Amulets of Regeneration. Haven't found any rings yet. With transmuters, I still like to train unarmed exclusively at the beginning. I might jump out of it a little bit earlier than usual, might not take it all the way up to like 8. On transmuter, you don't have quite as much ability to focus on just 1 or 2 skills. So I might do something like jump out at 6 and start training other skills. Probably would work on transmutations and ice magic in order to try and get beast form, ice form online. It's an ice beast. It's a beast. Probably. Alright. Did a lot of damage there. Should probably not be fighting the worm on low health. He would be able to kill me in about 2 max hits, but didn't get any hits on me, so that works. Trying to avoid taking as many hits from poison needles as possible. Another amulet. More amulets than rings. Nice stack of javelins. Guess there's the worm getting those two nice hits on me, and you can see I went down to about 50% health, so they are still a threat. Let's see, should we go with poison? Or should we just summon some resistance? Someone is digging somewhere on this hall. Back for number 3. I'm gonna go with int this time. I think I did dex for the first one. Dexterity or int. They're usually pretty good. Oh, here's possibly some altars. Taking a lot of damage from a scorpion, but he's constricted, so pretty sure I would get enough damage on him. Magic darts for 9 damage. Not sure why he got 2 zaps off, but I don't think he's faster than standard. Well, there you go. First half. Magic Dart Wand. Couldn't do too much about that one. Would have been helpful if I had identified items a little bit earlier, but D4 isn't too late to be having unidentified items. But yeah, probably identifying stuff would have been the only real solution to that. Alright, next Octopode.